If you have a recent cholesterol test sitting in your phone or on your desk right now, you can find out if you are insulin resistant in about 30 seconds. No extra tests, no doctor visits, no more labs required. And this matters because most people who are insulin resistant have absolutely no idea. Their blood sugar looks normal, their doctor says that everything is fine, but insulin resistance is silently driving their fatigue, their belly fat, their poor sleep, their blood sugar spikes, and this could be happening for years without even knowing. So if you've been frustrated that things aren't improving, even though you are trying to do the right things, or your doctor says that everything is fine, but something feels off, or you just want to know where you stand right now, keep watching because I'm going to show you the formula. I'm going to run it live with my own lab results and explain why my numbers look the way that they do. Before the formula, let me explain real quick what we are actually measuring. Insulin resistance is when your cells stop responding to the signals of insulin properly. Insulin's job is to knock on the door of your cells and say, hey, there is glucose in the bloodstream, take it up. But when your cells become insulin resistant, they stop answering the door, no matter how hard insulin knocks. So your pancreas produces more and more insulin keys in hopes to open enough doors to keep your blood sugar levels stable. And here's the part that most doctors miss entirely. Your fasting blood sugar can look completely normal while your insulin levels are already sky high. And it's exactly that high circulating insulin, not just elevated glucose, that is driving weight gain, inflammation, fatigue, and puts you in the path for prediabetes and then eventually type 2 diabetes. And this happens years before any test catches it. Now, the problem is that most doctors are not testing your insulin levels. They only focus on your blood sugar. So your routine tests are simply not catching this. However, if you got a lipid panel during your last checkup, you already got everything you need. A lipid panel is just a standard cholesterol test that most doctors run every year. And it turns out that insulin resistance doesn't just affect your blood sugar. It actually shows up in your cholesterol numbers in a very specific way. And once you know what to look for, the answer is already there in the results that are probably sitting in your patient portal right now. And that is exactly why this formula, more specifically a ratio, matters. Here's what you need. 2 numbers, just 2. Triglycerides and HDL cholesterol. The formula is triglycerides divided by HDL equals your ratio. Now, why do these numbers reveal insulin resistance? Here's the mechanism. When insulin resistance develops, insulin loses its ability to regulate fat storage. Fat cells start releasing fatty acids uncontrollably. The liver gets flooded, packages them into triglycerides, and dumps them into circulation. Triglycerides then go up, and at the same time, insulin resistance accelerates the breakdown of HDL particles and impairs the proteins that build them. The HDL goes down, which is your good cholesterol. So triglycerides go up, HDL comes down, and your ratio increases. That right there is insulin resistance showing up in your lipid panel. And the research on this is now extensive. A 2024 systematic review published in the journal Biomedicines analyzed 32 studies conducted over 20 years involving 49,782 participants across diverse ethnic backgrounds: Caucasians, Asians, Hispanics, and African American adults and children alike. The conclusion: the triglyceride HDL ratio is valid, accessible, and a surrogate biomarker of insulin resistance. And critically, it even works in non-obese individuals. So you don't have to be overweight for this ratio to flag a problem. Based on the median values across all 32 studies, the researchers proposed these cutoffs. Under 1.9, a strong indicator of insulin sensitivity. This means that you are in the clear and that your insulin is working as it should. Then we have 2.0 to 2.8 in men and 2.0 to 2.53 in women. This means that insulin resistance is developing. And essentially, you should watch out because you're not going to like what's coming, which is the next threshold, above 2.8 for men and above 2.53 for women. This means significant insulin resistance that needs to be addressed immediately. One important caveat from the study, this ratio works best for Caucasians, Asians, and Hispanics. If you are African American, you need to use a lower threshold, closer to 2.0. This is because genetic differences in lipoprotein processing means that triglycerides tend to run lower and HDL tends to run higher, which can possibly mask the ratio even if you are insulin resistant. And make sure that your numbers are in milligrams per deciliter. This is the standard unit in the United States. But if your results are in millimoles per liter, multiply triglycerides by 89 and HDL by 39 first, and then run the formula as usual. Here are my actual LabCorp results collected on May 13th, 2026. Triglycerides, 77 milligrams per deciliter, and HDL, 46 milligrams per deciliter. 77 divided by 46 equals 1.67. According to the 32 study systematic review of nearly 50,000 participants, I am well into the insulin sensitive range. The male threshold for concern is 2.8. I am at 1.67. That is quite literally 40% below the cutoff. And this matches with my recent A1C of 5.1% exactly. Both numbers tell the same story. My cells are responding to insulin efficiently, and glucose is being cleared from the bloodstream the way that it's supposed to. Now, here is what I want to break down because I get this question every single week. Jose, how is your ratio so good? It's not just one thing. It's a combination of daily habits that each do something distinct for my insulin sensitivity. So let me walk you through exactly what I do and the mechanism behind each one. Number 1, high fiber, low saturated fat nutrition, about 40 grams of fiber daily. Fiber slows down glucose absorption, flattening post-meal spikes so your pancreas doesn't need to flood your system with insulin. Less insulin demand over time means more insulin sensitivity. It also feeds your gut microbiome, which produces short-chain fatty acids that directly enhance how cells respond to insulin. And fiber directly lowers triglycerides, one of the numbers in the formula. A 2024 systematic review in the World Journal of Diabetes confirmed that 35 to 40 grams of fiber daily significantly improved HbA1c, fasting glucose, and triglycerides across 26 studies. That improvement shows up directly in your triglyceride to HDL ratio. Number 2, post-meal walks. 15 minutes after lunch and dinner at minimum. Your muscles don't need insulin to pull glucose from the bloodstream during movement. It's called contraction-mediated glucose uptake. Your muscles become a sponge for sugar the second that you start moving. You're clearing glucose directly without asking your pancreas for help. As a matter of fact, a 2017 randomized crossover study in diabetology and metabolic syndrome found that 15-minute post-meal walks outperformed a single 45-minute daily walk for lowering post-meal blood sugar and improving HbA1c. Timing the movement matters as much as the movement itself. Number 3, resistance training 3 to 4 times per week. If post-meal walks turn on your muscle glucose vacuums, then resistance training upgrades your vacuum. More lean muscle means more glucose storage capacity after every meal, and resistance training improves insulin sensitivity for 24 to 48 hours after each session, so the benefit compounds continuously. Number 4, berberine, 600 milligrams twice daily with food. Berberine activates AMPK. Think of it as your cell's master metabolic switch. When AMPK is flipped on, your cells become more sensitive to insulin and take up glucose more efficiently. A 2025 systematic review and meta-analysis of 12 randomized placebo-controlled trials published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, covering 889 participants, found that berberine significantly reduced triglycerides, fasting plasma glucose, LDL cholesterol, total cholesterol, and waist circumference with a safety profile comparable to placebo. I personally take Jade Supplements Pure Berberine, 600 milligrams at breakfast and 600 milligrams at dinner time. 600 milligrams per capsule, so only one capsule during breakfast and one capsule at dinner time. Very simple. If you want to learn more about how to take berberine to lower your blood sugar levels, go ahead and click in this video right here and learn directly from a diabetes dietitian. Number 5, magnesium glycinate, more specifically 275 milligrams before bed. About 50% of people with type 2 diabetes are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes, including the ones that regulate insulin signaling directly. Low magnesium equals to poor glucose control, poor sleep, and increased insulin resistance. And one poor night of sleep drops insulin sensitivity by 25% the next day. So magnesium glycinate before bed is doing 2 jobs simultaneously. Number 6, probiotics. Your gut microbiome produces the short-chain fatty acids that enhance cellular insulin sensitivity. A disrupted gut drives inflammation that worsens insulin resistance. A high-quality probiotic supports the foundation that makes everything else work better. And number 7, creatine, 5 grams daily. Creatine increases the amount of glucose your muscles can store as glycogen, meaning that your muscles can pull more glucose out of the bloodstream after every meal. Less circulating glucose, less insulin demand, better insulin sensitivity over time. It also amplifies the glucose uptake effect of resistance training specifically, making your most powerful blood sugar tool even more powerful. So, to recap, a 2024 systematic review of 32 studies with nearly 50,000 participants confirmed the triglyceride to HDL ratio as a valid surrogate for insulin resistance. Divide triglycerides by HDL to get your ratio. The cutoffs are as follows: above 2.8 for men and above 2.53 for women means significant insulin resistance is present. My ratio is 1.67, 40% below the cutoff. I personally built this through fiber-based nutrition, low saturated fat intake, post-meal walking, resistance training, and daily supplementation working all together. Berberine directly lowers triglyceride levels, improving one of the numbers in the formula. Magnesium glycinate supports insulin signaling and sleep simultaneously. Probiotics build the gut environment that makes insulin sensitivity possible. Creatine expands muscle glycogen capacity, amplifying the effect of every workout on blood sugar clearance. If you are interested in Jade Supplements pure berberine, creatine, probiotics, or magnesium glycinate. All of the links are going to be below this video. As always, we want to give you free information to reverse insulin resistance, the root cause behind high blood sugar levels. So go ahead and comment guide below this video, and I'll send you 3 meal plans that are going to help you become more insulin sensitive and reverse insulin resistance. They are 100% free. If this video helped you understand where you stand with your health, please go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and please share this with someone who might need the help. You've got this. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.